This week, while out in Los Angeles for Summer Game Fest, I was lucky enough to hang out with some of the folks from Halo Studios to go hands-on with a near final build of Halo Campaign Evolved. They also provided me an at-home build for me to check out on both Xbox Series X and S and PC, which included 2 levels, the previously seen fan favourite Silent Cartographer and Assault on Control Room. After spending time in the build and chatting with the developers, one thing has become very clear. Halo Studios have absolutely pulled it off. This is the Day One final preview for Halo Campaign Evolved. While we'd already had a hands-on preview for Silent Cartographer back when the game was announced last year, it can't be overstated just how incredible this looks, and perhaps more importantly, how incredible it feels to play. The incremental stutters in earlier builds have been eradicated, and the game runs incredibly well on Xbox Series X. It's worth saying the footage you're seeing here is the game running in performance mode. While I'm curious what quality mode ends up looking like, it's got to be 60 FPS or nothing for me. Playing Halo Combat Evolved again in this way is a curious thing. The new Unreal Engine powered art and visuals are nothing short of sumptuous, and while everything feels familiar, the game consistently surprised me in various small ways. Halo Combat Evolved is a game I've played quite literally hundreds of times, and yet as I began to go through the motions of true muscle memory, the game quite happily walks the line between what I remember and what I think I remember. Heroic difficulty, a mode on which I'm quite familiar with, is much tougher. Hunters will absolutely punish you now, but the changes are more evident in all of the little things. It's in the adjusted routes that allow a warthog through where before it was something we had to brute force, and the way that some rooms and corridors I know all too well are bigger and roomier now to allow for that sweet 4-player cross-platform co-op. The addition of a fun vehicular jump there, replicating those ammo caches we know so well here, or still allowing me to go out into the water just a little way to see what it all looks like, are all just teasing my memories, but they play like they're brand new. Voice lines are played here beat for beat, but some seem re-recorded and at higher quality. For long-time Halo fans, this gorgeous reproduction is going to tick a lot of boxes. There's a lot to debate as to whether this is a remake or a remaster, and I feel it mostly falls into the remake camp. Per Halo Studios executive producer DayOne Khan, every encounter, cinematic, environment, bodies and weapons have all been rebuilt. Is the ghost of Halo Combat Evolved still in there underneath all of that Unreal Engine goodness? Apparently yes. According to the team, the original code for Halo Combat Evolved is living underneath the slick layer of Unreal Engine fidelity. The rocket launcher has brought along its Halo 2 lock-on mechanic. The SMG is here in all its bullet hose glory. The energy sword no longer fizzles out when the enemy elite is defeated, but can be picked up and used against the enemy. Even the Warthog has been tweaked. It has both a standard control scheme and one where brake and accelerate are on the triggers. It's also destructible now, but again, this can be disabled for those of us that want to stuff grenades under it and send it flying into the atmosphere. Master Chief can sprint, which I'd completely forgotten about as I'd settled into playing Halo CE in the ways I always had. After switching to bumper jumper, I almost ignored the A button entirely for a while. Of note, purists can disable sprint in addition to tweaking the heads-up display to be more like what you remember. Not content with somehow remaking the game both as I remember it, but filling it with a host of smart tweaks and additions that make it feel like a blend of all the Halo games I've spent the last 25 years playing, Halo Studios have a few more tricks up their sleeve. Firstly, while the game doesn't ship with a multiplayer suite, Halo Campaign Evolved has 4-player cross-platform cooperative play available for every mission, including 3 new ones in a short prequel of sorts that sees you partner up with Sergeant Johnson. There's space battles, brutes and all sorts to contend with. The other big addition is a whopping 42 hidden skulls to be found throughout the levels, the effects of which can be pretty wide-ranging. There's ones we know and love, of course, like Cowbell or Blind, but then there's heaps of brand new ones, like ones that make the floor hurt every time you're on the ground, or a skull called Perspective, which allows you to play the entire game like a third-person shooter. That's one way to ease in the PlayStation crowd. Eventually you'll unlock Remix Mode, which will auto-magically jumble these skulls into a new, playable experience. It will mix up encounters, enemy placements, and even swap out the sorts of enemies you'll face. The Flood? On Silent Cartographer? Madness. Aside from just how enamoured I am with how well Halo Studios have handled rebuilding Halo CE to be something that feels so familiar and yet so refreshing, I also think this is a much needed win for a team that's perhaps not had the best time in recent years. Halo Studios have crafted an incredible remake here, and it honestly just makes me want to see them work the same magic on the rest of the trilogy, which I think is just a no-brainer at this point. The real question is, what's next for new Halo experiences? That remains to be seen, of course, but Halo Campaign Evolved is one hell of a foundation for whatever comes next. Halo Campaign Evolved is out on July 28th, 2026, with early access beginning July 23rd across Xbox Series X and S, PC and PlayStation 5. There's even a fancy collector's edition, if you can find one. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit like, hit subscribe, and if you really love what we do, consider supporting DayOne directly by becoming a member. Just head to playday.one/memberships. And we'll see you next time.